Today, let's begin with something called rebase, an advanced concept in Git. I believe you all have completed your hands-on. If you have any questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, let's begin with the concept of rebase. So this is a far advanced topic, rebase. So first, let's go to the rebase with a use case. Like assume that there is some master branch. Okay, let's take a scenario. There's a master branch and there is a bunch of commits here, like commit A, commit B. And there is also a new branch called B1 created, or else let's say we have already created B1 branch. Let's assume it's B2. And let's say it's a B2. And then, so there are some commits which are copied from master branch, like commit A, commit B. They were all copied from master because we created this, right? So commit A, commit B, these are the branch things when you create a branch. Now development is happening parallelly. You're making some changes here as well as the other side, right? You are also making changes on both the branches. Let us suppose you made a commit here and later on they were working like parallel entities. You made a commit C and here you made a commit and parallelly development is happening. At some point of time, let's suppose you just want to get the changes integrated this way, right? If you want to integrate changes from master to B2, let's say you want to integrate these changes from master to B2, means bring the changes from master to B2. What do you do and what is it called as? It's a merge, right? And when you merge, obviously whatever commits in master will come into this. And if you have noticed, it would be like commit A, commit B, commit D, and then commit C, right? The C will be added into the current branch as the topmost branch. You might have observed whenever you make a merge, this will be added into the current branch as the latest one, right? So this is the topmost commit add will be added into the current branch, right? You might have noticed it. And the commit ID would be the same if there are no conflicts, right? Let's say if it is a conflict also same, a new commit ID will be added into the current branch, right? But the ID might be different in the case of conflicts. You might have observed it, or if you haven't observed it, notice it when you are doing the hands-on, right? If it is a conflict, the ID will change. But whatever it is, either the with conflict or with no conflict, a new ID will be added into the current branch. So this is what happens when you merge, right? But if you notice here, these are commits from child branch, right? B2 branch. This is also from child, right? And we merged it, we are having master. Again, later on, I'll make the changes in that. Again, child branch means it looks like initially these are from parent, AB are from parent, right? And then D is from child. Again, this is from parent. So it shows like parallel development. And at some point of time, log history may not be very clear to you, right? So, but if you want to maintain the log history very clear and if you want to um, see the log history clearly, right? You can manage something called, you can do something called rebase. Rebase will, again, the functionality wise, it's same. It will just do the merge, integrate changes from one branch to another, but it will rewrite the log history in this order. Means first all the parent commits, like A, B, C, then the child commits. So it shows linear development, but actually parallel development is happening. But if you want to keep the log clean, clear, and simple, right, you may go for this rebase. That's where rebase comes in. Right? So this is where you have rebase. Understood, and is that clear for everyone? So like the reason is clean linear log history. Also we'll get a linear log history, right? All the parent commits once, then the child commit. So if you want to create this kind of log history, that's where rebase comes in. This is the concept of rebase. Means it avoids this new commits. Unnecessarily, just because we are merging, we don't need a new commit into the destination branch, right? We are not doing any commit here. We are just integrating. So we don't need a new commit there, right? Is this clear, everyone? Or any questions from anyone? Okay.
Now, one quick one, not on the technical part. Every day when we are initially logging in, right, the audio was not enabled to unmute or anything. First time we need to request you to disable it and enable it back.
Your audio you are talking about?
No, everyone's. Otherwise, we would have speak out, right? First time audio settings, it was this.
Every day you are all muted. You are raising
Yeah,
and
correct.
then I am unmuting you.
Right.
Every day that is the case. You should be all muted, and if you have a question, if you raise the hand, I'm unmuting. Every day it is the same thing.
Okay.
Today I did not see your hand raised, so just now I unmuted you.
Ma'am, can you give examples of conflict, ma'am?
Conflicts during the merge.
How can I solve, ma'am, of conflict error?
Yesterday we have discussed the use case. Have you done the hands-on? Yesterday conflict scenario is covered, right?
Yes, ma'am. But can you repeat once again?
Okay,
If
just remind me at the end. I'll do
if
that.
possible.
We
Yeah,
already
okay.
started this part, right?
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Keep muted, please, everyone. After your question is done, please keep muted. So is this scenario clear for everyone? All right. So let us do the hands-on now. Like as per the diagram, first let's create a branch B2. Then we'll create these commits, and then like we'll proceed with this explanation, whatever we discussed, right? Let's see with the hands-on. So, okay, first let me go to master. We are on master anyway. Let me check the contents we have. Get log. Online, we have bunch of commits. So here we don't need these bunch of commits. Means I just want to keep the log simple before we proceed. I would like to assume this as A commit, this is B commit, and then we'll proceed. So let me just get rid of all these 4 commits. How to do that? How do we get rid of a successive 4 commits or whatever it is? Can you help me with the commands? Okay, someone answered it as a reset. Is it reset? Correct? So what is the command? Can you give me the exact command?
Command for?
Or unmuted. How to do reset? So someone answered you should do reset. So how to do reset?
Like git hard apply that ID. So that
Hash ID.
Whichever you want to be the topmost one, right? Git reset hard. So now if you see, yes, I just want to consider A, B and progress with a simple log for demonstration, right?
git soft or git mix.
Madam, get reset -- hard.
Yeah. So now this is the log history I have for master. Now let me create a branch. I want to create a branch, B2. How to create a branch? Right? So this should create a branch, but anyhow, I'm on master. Now, I would like to make some commit on the master. I'm just creating a new file. You made it the file or whatever. So it's unstaged. What should we do? Okay, git add file3 git commit -m file3 created. Right? So done. So that's a third commit if you see git log. That's a third file or the third commit we have. Right? Okay, perfect. Now I would like to go to B2 and also create a commits there. So let's go to git checkout B2. Let's go to B2. Here I'm going to create some file. Let's say I'll create file 4 and right. So add this file, git add file 4. Let's add this file and let's commit the file. Let's say file 4 on B2, whatever. Done. So this is like a commit B. So let's get the log. This is the log of B2, right? So this is the log of B2. Adding this log here. Just a second, unable to write this. Okay, so log of B2, right? This is the log of B2. Now let's get the log of master. How do you get the log of master without switching the branch? You can give the branch name at the end of the command, git log. So this is the log of the master, right? This is the log of the master. Let me put here master branch log. This is the log of the first one. This is the log of master branch. And then log of B2, log of master. This is the log. And so let me also represent as per our discussion, this is commit A, this is commit B. Then we made changes here. This is commit C. So this is commit A, commit B onto by B2 branch. We got it from master. And this is the commit D, right? Like which we created. Now let us do rebase. I want to integrate changes from master onto B2. So what is the command? Git git rebase master. So if you do this, what happens? You are getting the changes from master to B2. So which branch would be affected? See, it says successfully rebased, and here if you notice, you see that file 3 from master, and if you check the log of B2 now, log of B2, we are on B2. See here, this is the log of B2. Yeah, do you see that? And let me show you here. This is commit A after rebase. This is B, but C came and sit in between B and D. It's not added as a topmost commit. Do you notice that? This is the log of master. Ignore this.
If it is a merge, it will come as a topmost of the file, right?
It will come as a topmost one, but now it's coming as the in between B and D. Means it shows linear development. As if someone sees this, they may assume that, okay, branch is created at this point C, but actually branch is created after B. Got it? So first all the parent commits, then the child commits as per the timestamp. Means first all the parent commits will be added as per the timestamp, and then all the child commits. Clear, everyone? Understood this? Any questions? If you are clear, you can give me a thumbs up. If it is good, we'll proceed. Good to go. All right. So, sorry. I just stopped it. Okay. So this is what is a rebase. It's just functionality wise same. Whatever merged does it's same, but it's a far advanced concept. And another thing is the thumb rule is you should never rebase the public branches or remote branches. Means let's say I might have pushed this to remote. Don't rebase them because the log history might be different. You for yours and on the remote it may mess up the thing. So this is confined only for local branches. And this type of rebase is not used much, but there is another kind of rebase which we would use, which is pull with rebase on remote, right? We will look into that as well. So with that, like we have done many things, learned many things on the local repositories. Till now we were on local only, right? Now it's a time we'll step into remote repositories. Good to go? So, so this is your remote repository. Okay, let's say my project, I have done some work. I'm done, like I have completed my changes. Now I want to share my changes across the team. I want to push to remote. So what is this remote repository? This GitHub, Bitbucket, all these works like remote repositories. Remote repository is nothing but online management system where you can host your local repositories, right? That's your remote repo where you can host your local Git repositories. So I may host my Git repository on either GitHub or Bitbucket and I could share with others. I could collaborate within the team and that's how it works. If you learn GitHub, you can very easily straightforward work with Bitbucket and vice versa. They're almost similar, right? The UI will also be similar with the names different, terminology would be different, but it's quite simple to switch over. They were very similar. I have used both of them, like projects. In some projects, I have used GitHub. In some of them, I have used Bitbucket. There are projects where we use both. So it all depends. So let's get to GitHub. What you have to do here is just go to github.com. Go to github.com. Create a free account like you create your Gmail, Facebook, or any other social networking applications. Just create a free account, right? You can create it and you'll get some username and password. This is my user ID and you'll get some ID and password, right? Now, this is where I can host my local repository. But where do you host? You need an address, right? So just go here and click on creating new repository. Give some name. Let's say I'm giving name as repo1 and a public repository. I'm creating it. Let's suppose I want to host my local. I have already my local repository, right? I want to host it here. Copy this HTTPS link. Now come to your local. This is my local repository, Git demo project, right? So now I want to push this to remote. Means I have to connect this local repository to the remote repository. How do I connect that? How do we do this? Git
push and pull, something like that. Okay.
git remote add origin. Right? Git remote add origin. So, yes, any question, Ramakrishna? You raise your hand and Ajay raise your hand. Any questions, please?
No,
Uh,
I don't have anything.
when we push the to remote repository, we should not check either it in branch or B1 or B2.
We will see. I'm just connecting it.
Okay.
I'm not pushing now.
Just you are adding to remote add or is
First, I'm connecting this local repository with the remote. Okay?
yes.
Yeah. Git remote add origin, this URL. This is my URL which I got when I create a repository. Connect this. When you connect, you can see here git remote -v. -v means verbose. It will tell you origin is set to this. What is meant by origin? Origin is like a keyword or else alias name, which will connect or which will to which you will assign this remote repository URL. Like you have x equal to 5, right? X is a variable or else an alias name which will hold this address. Same is the case here. Origin is the one which will hold this address. You may give different name also, like new origin or my origin kind of, right? You can give different names like my origin or else repos origin kind of. But using the word origin is the standard practice, right? So yes, now it is connected. So what should I do now? Git push origin, right? Now you push whatever you want. Git push origin master, right? That's how you can push any particular branch. And whenever you are running this for the first time, right? Like let's say whenever you are pushing it to this particular account for the first time, it will ask for the credentials like username and password. What credentials would you provide? You should not provide this user ID and password, right? Using authentication with user ID and password is deprecated. Git is not using it anymore. Then what should we use it? Then what we should use? Here, if you go to your account, you will see something called settings. Right? Under the settings again, you have developer settings. Right? Listen here, go to your account settings and again developer settings. So if you come here, you will see personal access token. It's called PAT. This is the authorization strategy used currently. So go to this. And here you will see again classic or find, refine, anything should be fine. Go to this classic generator token. I'm going to generate a simple token. First authenticate. I'm getting the like two-factor authentication. Let me authenticate it. You should even do that. You should install the authenticator and you should be using a two-factor authentication. Sorry. So now just come here and here you can choose the expiration, like whether you want to keep it no expiration or whether you want to keep it expire as 1 month and all, it's up to you, right? You can choose the time when it should expire and give some name to the token like my token and all, give access to the repos, right? And then save it, generate the token, generate the token. So you will see this token generated, right? This is only one time it will show you. And whenever it I'm sorry. Whenever it generates, you should save it. Right? As of now, I'm deleting it. I have one more token. So you have to save it that it will give you only once. If you lost it, you will not be able to authenticate it. You have to generate a new token again. Right? So whenever it prompts for username and password, you may give username as your account username or anything. But password should be that access token only. That's how you should authenticate. And it is only one time to authenticate to a particular account. It's a one-time task. Clear, everyone? So now let's push to horizon. Okay, this is done. Anyhow, now let's see here. Let's go to our repository where we have pushed our repositories and the repository repo one. Yeah. Do you see here it is pushed, right? So 3 commits, whatever in the local repository, all of that are pushed. Master branch is pushed, all the files, all the commits of the master branch are pushed. Got it clear, everyone? Now, if you want to push any other branch also, like a git push horizon B1, let's say, let me push this, right? So it says it pushed. We may see here earlier only one branch, but now there should be 2 branches seen, right? And here you can see B1 master, you may go this way. So B1 is having 4 branches, 4 commits and all. Any questions?
There will be local master also will be there and GitHub master also will be there, or how it is? Only one master or per repository?
Same thing from your local is pushed here. Both are same. If you push here, you can share it with others. Multiple people can access it and all. Same thing I have pushed. So I have master branch in my local. I have pushed it to this one.
Okay.
Right? And now let's push, okay, we can push any other branches this way. And you might have remembered, right? We discussed like we created branches. We can also delete the branch. But till now we did not see deleting a branch, right? So let's see deleting a branch. Let's say I want to delete a B1 branch. Git branch -d B1. What it does? See, it gave me an error saying that branch B1 is not fully merged. If you're sure you want to delete it, run git branch -d B1. So what does it mean? What it's showing error B1 is not fully merged. What does it mean first of all? It's not fully merged means there were some changes in B1 which were not merged back, right? They were not merged. So if you delete a branch, if it is not merged, you may lose those changes, right? So that's what it's giving warning. If you're sure you want to still delete it, you can use this capital D to delete it. Right? Yes, I'm sure I'm deleting it. See, deleted the branch. If you see the branch list, there is no B1, but I have pushed it to this. So is it deleted? No, do you see still we have a B1 branch, right? You can go here. Means I have deleted in my local. It doesn't affect the remote repositories. Okay. Also, another thing is it doesn't affect it. And what if I want to delete here? You can go here and straight away you can delete from here, right? So you can do that. Or else another way. How do you delete that from local? I want to delete the remote branch from by running command from local. You can do this. Git push horizon delete B1. So this will delete it. Right? So now if you just come here. Yeah. Do you see B1 is gone? Right? This is how you can push from local. So that's how you push the branch, you push the deletions and all. And then coming back here, if you remember, we have discussed about 2 use cases, right? Like one is about creating the local repositories, right? How do you create local repository? Local repository can be created in 2 ways. Create an empty local repository using Git init, right? Or else the other way is create an empty local repository with Git in it and then make changes and all. Or else the other way is assume the project is already there. You join the project now. How do you create a local repository? By copying from remote? Isn't it? Do you remember these 2 use cases? Until now, we were doing this, assuming there's nothing on remote, it's a new project. So we created a local repository with Git in it, and then we pushed it to remote. But what if already there is remote repository? How do you copy from this remote and create a local repository? Right? Is the scenario and the question clear for everyone? Is the scenario clear for all? Appreciate your responses. All right. So now let's copy from remote. So got it that you are all clear with this. Now let's copy from remote. Let's go to remote. So you may choose some existing project here. Already some projects are there from repositories I have. I may use something like this and I can just do a clone, right? I mean, I can copy it from remote. So I don't want to mess up the existing ones. I would like to create a new repository rather. So go to new repositories. I mean, create a new repo called repo2 and yeah, public one, but I just want to it to have some files and commits. I'm just adding a dummy readme file and create a repository. So it's not empty, it's having a readme, it's having one commit. Assume it may have 10 files, some 10 commits and so on. So let's say you joined a project where like project is already running, already it has got remote. Now you have to create your own local repository from this, means copy from here and create a local repository. So let's see how to do that. Now go to here. Now this is already Git demo is a local repository. Now I want to create another local repository, correct? So just come out of this local, come out of this Git demo. So I just came to my desktop. I'm on my desktop. Here I would run git clone, right? So how do you do that? Just come here in your repository. Here there'll be something called code clone. This is the HTTPS URL, right? Like we got HTTPS URL earlier. Git clone that URL. What is meant by cloning? What is the dictionary meaning of cloning?
Cloning means copying the same.
Having one more copy of the
Okay.
source.
Yeah. So the same thing, it just copies it. So on the desktop, it's copying into this folder. It will create a folder called repo2, means your repository name, and it will copy. So on the desktop, I should be seeing repo2, right? I would like to open this one in the Explorer. Let me open another window. New window. Then I'll open this folder here. This is another local repository. Understood? Are you getting that? There are two folders now. This is repo2, this is git demo. Git demo is a local repository. This is another local repository. Git demo is created by using git init. This is created by copying from remote. Got the difference, everyone? All right. So it means everyone is clear with it. Good. So now just come here. You have this remote, right? And whenever you do the clone, origin is already set. Earlier in the git demo folder, we did origin. We did set the origin. But here, origin is already set. You can see here git remote -v. Means origin is set. When you don't need to again run the command explicitly to set the origin. Means it's connected to that remote, right? When you did git clone. Perfect. Now you can make changes, you can push, you can do whatever you want like we did before. Just let me create some sample file. It's again a local repository. I just created the file. So where is it? It's again another local repository, repo2. So a new file is in the working directory, untracked, correct? Same story because it's another local repository. right? So what you should do? Git add file 1 and then git
Git
commit.
add, git commit, and git push.
Yeah, yeah. So some message. Right? So, and then if you see, it's all good, right? It's on. And now, see, do you see it's main because it's created on the UI, it is created on the GitHub, it's main. Whether it's main on master, it doesn't make any sense. So I made some changes here. Now, if you want to push this, git push origin main is the branch name. And now if you see, yeah. Do you see this file is pushed now? Following everyone? Anyone? Any questions? Yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. So that's how we push. And now that we understood how we push, let us look into few very interesting things. Just come here to this report too. This is like shared across multiple people, right? There might be multiple users connected to this. They might be making some changes, collaborators. Let's assume someone pushed here. Means let's suppose in our project, you are also having access to this. You are another DevOps person. You might have made some changes and pushed to here from your local, correct? So assume that someone else have pushed some changes like file 2. Right, I'm just creating from the UI, assuming someone else might have pushed the changes. You can also create from the UI like this. Create a new file, demo file, commit the changes. Assume that someone else have pushed the changes, right? So someone else might have pushed it. So yes, file 2. Do you have these changes in local? Do we have these changes in our local?
I think yes, it is already cloned, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
It is cloned when you have readme. It is cloned some time back. How come we get that now?
Git pull.
We need to refresh or some command will be
I think git pull command.
I'm refreshing it here, the Explorer. Right? How do we get it into local? We cloned yesterday. Maybe I cloned it 1 month back. Of course, I cloned here 10 minutes back. Later on, some others push the changes to remote. Those changes will not be available locally. You have to update your local repository with the changes from remote. How do you do that? Git pull origin main, the branch name. So that's how you get the changes from remote. That's how you update it. Initially, you might have cloned, later on, so many people might have put some changes. This is how you pull. Right now, you got that file too available here. Understood? So pull is to update your local repository with the changes from remote. Right? So let me just repeat this with one more file. I'm creating one more file. Assume someone else pushed the changes. So file3.txt. Commit the changes. Right? It's not available locally, right? It's not available here. If you see, no. So I want to get the updates. Git pull. But there is another command which looks and sounds similar to pull. Git fetch origin main. So if you do this, changes will be pulled. Right? I mean, changes are expected to be pulled, but let's see what happens. Did you really get that file 3? Right? It just gave you some verbose, but there is no change. Let me try doing git pull. Yeah, do you see now? You got the file 3, right? Right? So git pull origin main, you get the files pulled in, right? Means git, the point to note here is
sorry.
these,
Pull is actually you're pulling into and fetching is giving the information, right?
right? It's just giving you a verbose. It will not do anything in action. these three commands looks and sound similar, like clone, pull, and fetch. Looks and sound similar, but they're quite different. Clone is you will use it for the first time to get a copy from remote. Right? Pull is you will get the updates pulled. Right? You will get only the updates because you might have pulled some time back, right? Like 1 month back, you might have pulled. Right? Clear? Fetch is just, it just shows the changes. You can say this like pull is like fetch plus merge. That is pull. Yes, Anshu, please go ahead. Seems you have a question.
No, no, Preeti. Actually, I just want to unmute myself.
Why you want to unmute?
Actually, I want to at least give me the permission when I have any
If you have
doubts.
any
I need to
question,
ask.
you can ask me, Anshu. I'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, my doubt is clear, Preeti.
Right. Okay. Got it. So if you have any doubts, you can raise your hand and I'll unmute at that time. All right. So fetch and fetch plus merge, like this pull works like fetch plus merge. Otherwise, just fetch will just give you a verbose. It will not do anything in action. Pull is the one which will do that. This is important from the point of interview as well. Okay. So keep this noted. Difference between pull and clone. Clone is for the first time you do it, and this will create a local repository. This will create a local repository. Whereas pull will just pull the updates from remote, which are not there in local. Right? So those are the
What
different.
about the fetch, man?
No?
Fetch.
Fetch will just give you an verbose if there were any updates. That's all. It will not do anything in action.
Okay.
This is what I wrote here. Fetch plus merge is pull. Okay. So now let us look into another interesting scenario. First, let me do one thing. Just let's go to remote. Here, let me add one more file. It need not be a file. You could also modify the files. Okay. So I just created the file. Is this available on local? Is this commit? Are these available on local?
No,
No.
until you pull the.
So until I pull that, I don't have anything, right? So
Wait,
just
wait.
come back here. Let me close one. It's okay. So now just let me create something else here. Let's say I'm just creating some other file and I just want parallelly development is happening. Someone else is developing, they're pushing there. Now I'm making some changes and this is what I have. So it shows like unstage. Obviously, I should follow the steps like git add file 5, right? And then git commit -m new file added or something like this, right? I have just made these changes. Its status, right? So these are the things I have got. So now, okay, I have got these changes. Now, okay, let's say I'm done with my changes. I want to push these changes to remote. How do I push my changes to remote? Yeah. We have the command, right? Git push origin main. What happens now? Do you think what will happen now?
It will go into the main folder in the
Main,
remote.
you mean it will push successfully, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, it will push.
So let's see what happens now. Do you see that? It says rejected. Why it is rejected? Fail to push some references to this. Update. See, and one more important thing, whenever you get any error, whenever you see some message, it's very important you will read it, right? You have to read it so that you will understand what's happening there. It's very important you will read those error messages for troubleshooting. And it clearly says updates were rejected because remote contains work that you do not have locally. You don't have the work which you have to, means you don't have something which is there on remote. Means the thumb rule is before you push, you have to always do a pull. I'll tell you the reason. Let's suppose I have cloned on February 1st. Today it's Feb 6th. So many other collaborators might have pushed their changes. You cannot directly push your change. First, get the latest copy. In layman terms, get the latest copy. Download it first. Pull is download, right? First, pull it. Then you have to push it. Means, first of all, you should have a latest copy before you push. Understood?
So that means whenever we use the push command, we need to pull the by we need to pull every time.
First, better to check the pull and then go for push.
Yeah, yes, I told the same. First pull it and then you have to push it. Git pull origin main, right? You have to do this pull. Here I'll tell you a few things. Marker is not coming, just a second. Okay, so let's say I'm doing this on Mac or whatever operating system, right? So what I'll do, or else let's say it's a Windows or Linux. So what will we do? Git pull origin main, right? So if you do this, what happens is you will get the changes from remote to local, right? So one commit will be added to local. Then after this, you will push back, right? So it will create, means whenever you are pushing, you already have one commit here which you want to push and this one. So totally by the time you push, two commits will be pushed back to remote. One is which we got from remote to local, this one. And this is again, you have your own commit which you want to push. In total, two commits will be pushed instead of just one, just because you are pulling. Pull is like a merge, merging from remote to local, right? So whenever you merge, you know, right, a new commit ID will be added. So two commits will be pushed. So to avoid this, what you can do is, now whenever you are pulling, you can do git pull rebase. Git pull origin. First, sorry, git pull origin main with rebase. This is what you can do. You can do either ways. If you do this way, this is the first method and this is the second method. If you go for first method, it will push two commits back to remote repository. If you use this git pull origin main with rebase, like we have learned what is rebase, right? It avoids unnecessary commits. Only one commit will be pushed to remote finally, whichever you want to push, right? So always whenever you are pulling, pull with rebase. This is both the things you can do if it is a Windows or Linux. But in a Mac, it will allow only pull with rebase. Is that making sense? Am I making sense? You can do only this. As mine is Mac, I can go only with pull with rebase. If you have Windows,
That's always good actually.
yeah, because that's the best method, right? That's why it will not allow this kind of pull. So in Mac, it's not allowed. It's allowing only this one. But if you have Windows, you can try out this as well and check. If you have Windows or Linux, you can try both. But because it's Mac, I can go only with this one. Is that clear for everyone? Appreciate your quick responses. I'm expecting response from everyone. You can give a thumbs up or confirmation in whatever way you prefer. Okay. So as there are no questions, I'm proceeding. Git pull origin and the branch name. sorry, and the branch name minus R, right? So let me do the pull with origin. See, if you see, you got this file, file 5, right? You got everything here, and that should be done. Now, if you see the status, it should be clean. Now, let's go to our remote. Earlier, it's showing like it was 7 minutes back. It's the last commit is ED88, right? But now means it will be refreshed. Earlier, it is this one. Okay, the one which is pushed is shown here, I believe. Oh, sorry. We did rebase. We did not push again, right? So that's why it is showing the last 7 minutes ago. We did not push it. We just did rebase. And if you see, it's a 7 minutes back. It's this one. And the total commits you can see here are 5 commits. Now let's push. We already did the pull. Now our intention is I have to push my changes, isn't it? So git push origin main. Now that I pushed, let's see. Earlier there were 5 commits. Now there should be only 6. But like I said, if you would try the other way without pull with rebase, if you pull normally, 2 commits will be pushed back. But here as we use pull rebase, this is the actual commit I want to push. Only that is the one that is pushed here. Am I clear? Got it? Understood? Yeah, thank you all for confirming. Right. So this is the importance of pull with rebase. I will show you another interesting thing. Let me proceed. I'm creating another new file here. File 6. Okay, file 6 is created. Right? So it's created. I don't have it locally. Let me create it locally. File 6.txt. Right? So new file is created. What should we do? Again, it is unstaged. What should we do?
Git
Same
you
unstaged.
will add
Commit. Sorry, add commit.
Commit.
Right? We have to add and commit. So let me do that. Git add file 6. Git commit -m file 6 added. Right? So done. Now
But why did we done here actually? We can pull right. It's already created there.
someone else pushed the changes and I have my own requirement. Multiple people are working. Someone else might have pushed that file 6. I have my own
The same
requirement.
name. Okay.
I have some other requirement where I have to create the same file. So I'm doing it. I'm done. I want to push it. Okay. Yep. So that happens. That's a quite common use case, right? Working with multiple, same file. So I would like to push my change. Git push origin main, right? So what happens now? Anyone, what will happen now?
It will give a warning.
generate error.
Conflict.
We need to do pull first.
We have to do pull first, but let's see. Yeah, obviously that's what it will tell you. Updates were rejected. You have to pull it. So if you pull it normally, 2 commits will be pushed when you push to remote. So I would like to pull with the rebase. So what I should do, git pull origin main, right? Git pull origin main -r. Git pull with rebase. So what happens now? Will it pull successfully now? What do you think will happen now?
Yes.
Will it pull successfully?
Yes.
Pull is like a merge. It's merging from remote branch to local branch. So here it's already having that file 6. Remember the concept of conflict. Why do you get a conflict? Source is missing some commits which are there on destination. Same file, first condition. Yes, it's same file. Second condition, source is missing some commits which are there on destination. So, which is the source? This is the source. This source is missing some commit, right? On this file 6, this destination is having some other commit which we just made. So, source, whenever you are pulling, source is remote. Remote is missing this commit which I just made for file 6. Source is missing some commits and we will get a conflict. So concept, reason for the conflict, concept behind the conflict, everything is same like before. Only the difference is earlier I got conflict within my own changes in different branches. Now I am getting conflict with someone else who pushed their changes to remote. This is what we discussed, right? We'll talk about the conflicts on remote. Right? So now let's see what happens. I'm pulling it. See, do you see? Same, everything is same. Reason for the conflict, concept behind the conflict, how to fix it, everything is same. See, the file is shown with the contents from both. This is from the current one, this is from the remote. You will see. You can choose, but the only difference is earlier conflict is within my own local repository. I am the decision maker to choose which changes to keep and which not. But here, I have to discuss with the person with whom I got a conflict. So those two people will sit together, discuss and decide the what changes to keep and what not, and they will edit the file by mutual discussion. That is the only difference. Are we clear? How do we resolve the conflict? How can multiple people work on the same file at the same time? Earlier, it was a conflict within my own local, within my changes. But now this is a conflict from someone else. So accept the current change or incoming change or accept both. I'm keeping both of them. Save
Except
it,
both.
save it and see it's giving you clue what you should do. If you want to add and continue, git rebase continue. It's giving you clue. See here, git add the conflicted files. That's what we do, right? Whenever you edit. So it is giving you can run git rebase continue. Right? See? And it says that, what it is saying? Git rebase continue needs merge, mark them as resolved and git add. Okay. We did this continue. And one more thing is you have to first add before that. That's what it's saying. Add it first. Git add because I just made some change. First add it. Then rebase continue. See, it will ask for this message when you are rebasing. Let's say merging successfully or something like this. And then done, right? Now you can push or push to, this is what actually we want. And then all the steps followed. Now this file with the 2 changes should be there on remote. Right? Earlier I just had one thing, but now, yes, perfect. Got it clear, everyone? Understood? Any questions? Thank you guys for the confirmation. Thanks for the thumbs up.
Madam, after you commit and add and commit, we need to do the pull first, right? Before push.
That's what we did, right? During the pull, that's where you get a conflict. Whenever you are pulling, you got the conflict. See the history. Pull with the rebase. First, I tried to push. It doesn't allow me because there are updates. I pulled. Then I got a conflict. I fixed it. Add the file. Rebase continue. So, pushing now.
After rebase continue, you directly push the origin, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I am pulling it. During this process of pull, I have to rebase. And then pushed it. right? So these are the things which you have with the remote. That's how you resolve the conflict with others. And that is about GitHub. GitHub is straightforward and simple. Few important things on GitHub are actually master branch or this main branch will be restricted from direct pushes and commits. You cannot push from local to master branch directly. You cannot just go and do the commits from the UI. Master branch will be restricted for direct pushes or direct commits. Then if you want to push something to master, what you should do? Let me just open another repository where I have couple of branches like repo one. So if you just go here to repo one, it has got 2 branches. Oh, I deleted here also. Okay, it's okay. Let me create branch from here itself. You can push from local. Okay, or else I can say create branch from master. Just I want to show you one demo. Right? So master branch B1 are there. Master branch will be restricted from direct commits and pushes. So if you want to create any push anything, you will create a separate branch, make changes here, push here. But then how it goes to master? That's where pull request comes in. Pull request is nothing but like if you just go here, create a new pull request. Okay, first of all, let me make some change in B1. Assume that you pushed from local. I cannot push from local now. If you want, you can do it. I'm just making some change here in file 2. Okay, earlier it was empty. Now I made some change. Now I want to merge that change to master. How do you do that? Right? You can't directly do. You have to raise the pull request. That's called PR. PR is a very important concept, right? PRs are very important. And you may also call them as merge requests. On Bitbucket, we call them as merge requests. Either it's a pull request or merge request. So person who want to push the changes to any other branch, like particularly to master, they'll create a new pull request. And we have to configure it. I want to push from B1 to master. This is the update I have. I want to push. Create a PR and give the description for some changes for EC2 instance, whatever. Create the pull request. So there will be some reviewers or approvers configured, right? They will get the approval because here I'm the only one person. Here, see, no reviewers. You can add the people. Like if anyone is there in your team, you can add the people and select who should review. Like managers or leads, they can review and confirm the merge. Pull request successfully merged and closed, right? Because I have approved it. Then only changes goes into master branch. See, merge request. This is my user ID. Merge request from Preeti. Have pushed some changes here. Approved the changes, let's say. So that's how master branch should be committed with the changes, not with the direct pushes or commits. Is the pull request concept clear, everyone? Thank you guys for confirming. Anyone else having any question? You can put your query.
No, I have a question. I
Yes.
understand the pull and push concepts, but the thing is in real-time scenario,
Mm.
these things in the in GitHub, who will use this normally the developers, right?
This is the main
No,
one.
not.
Hello?
Yes, please.
The developers are using this.
What is that?
The developers will work on this.
Developers will work on GitHub.
Yeah, the files pull and push or whatever they develop the files, then they will pull and push into the GitHub.
Okay. No, I did not get your question. Developers will do pull and push.
They'll save
No,
the files in the
No,
GitHub.
his question is Preeti, who will use in the real-time scenario this GitHub? Is it
we will
developers
use
or
it.
we?
See, in the first day of Git itself, I'm talking, everyone will use it. We'll use it for Terraform projects, manifest files for Kubernetes, Ansible files. DevOps people have got so many files which we'll be storing on GitHub. Everyone will use it. Whatever we are learning till now, push, pull, conflicts, every team will use it. Every team will have to face this conflicts.
So
Is that your question?
as
Yeah.
a DevOps engineer, what is the role on this GitHub? Because
Pushing your Terraform files, pulling your Terraform files, changes which others have done. These are all will be your Terraform files, .tf files, Kubernetes files. So as a DevOps person, won't you make changes to your Terraform files?
yeah, got it.
So you have to make changes, you have to pull it, your other colleagues will make some changes for EC2 instance, you might be making some changes for Lambdas, push the code, pull the code. That's what we call it as a code, but those are not code. That's a different thing. You have the config files which you have to modify, push and pull,
Okay.
right? Similarly, like let's say I'm a DevOps person, I have created a pipeline. There'll be different branches like uh, you will have different branches like dev branch, even DevOps engineers, like your pipeline will be here in dev branch, staging, and master, right? So listen here carefully. First, you will not mess up the master, right? You will make changes to dev branch. Your pipeline, whenever you make some changes, your pipeline is here, right? Your Jenkins file is here. You are creating a pipeline here. Once your pipeline, I mean, whenever you make a change here, it will trigger the pipeline. Once the pipeline is triggered and successful, you will merge the changes into staging branch. Then the staging branch, another pipeline will trigger and deploy it to staging environment. If it is also fine, then you will raise a PR to merge into master. Right? Then you run the pipeline, deploy it onto master production servers. That's how your changes move on. Here is a merging concept, branching concept, conflicts comes in. All of that is there, isn't it?
Yes.
This is the actual scenario. We will be doing it. We'll create pipelines for different branches. Every branch will have its own pipeline. This is actually the strategy used. Okay, let me talk about how it works in reality about the branching. Just a second. So, this is how it works in reality. First, let's talk about developers. Okay, developers, they are writing some Java code. They will also have dev branch. They write some Java code, let's say hello world.java. Okay, they wrote this code and it is working fine. Then they will push it or merge it to staging branch. Oh, okay, let me tell you this way. Okay, let's suppose developers made some commit on dev branch. Okay, then whenever developer makes some change, we will create, as a DevOps engineer, will create a pipeline in such a way, dev pipeline in such a way. Any trigger to dev pipeline means they made some new code change. It will trigger the dev pipeline. What dev pipeline will do? Dev pipeline means dev CI/CD. It will do the build it, test it, and then deploy to dev servers. Suppose if it is working fine, okay, the pipeline went well, they will merge this code, or else we can merge this code. Generally, developers will merge the code to staging environment. As a DevOps engineer, what you do, whenever some change is done to staging, it will trigger stage pipeline. Again, CI/CD pipeline, right? This will deploy to staging environment, and once it is good, then developers will merge this to master branch.
Where these pipelines will be stored? I mean, which tool?
And then it will trigger prod pipeline, right? This is one thing. And this
Preeti?
is, yes, I heard it. I'll come to you. Just give
Oh,
me,
sorry.
sorry, just a second. Okay. So this is one repository, one GitHub repository for developers, right? So you will create the pipelines on Jenkins. Your pipelines would also be created with some config files. Those config files will also be stored here. This is our DevOps repository. We'll have GitHub repository. This is for DevOps team. Whenever they make a code change, it will trigger the pipeline. But how is that pipeline created? Where is that pipeline coming from? Again, we have some config files which are stored in DevOps repository, another GitHub repository. Got it now, Sai Dishwar and everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it is clear now.
Right? So we have our own repositories. Here I'll store to create the pipeline. I may store some Jenkins files. To create the underlying infra, I may create some Terraform files and so on. All of that I have one more repository. Whenever developer makes some changes on their GitHub, on their repo, it will trigger the pipeline. But how is it possible? How is it triggering? Because I have my configurations, all of that will be stored. Again, the same, whenever that pipeline is successful, I will push those changes to my staging branch from my prod branch. I mean master branch, which is corresponding to this one. Sometimes what happens is, it could be same repo. It will be same repo. Developers might be managing those Jenkins file themselves, right? Sometimes that's what they do. They'll create it, but they may be broken, failures, then we'll fix it. That might be the use case. Or else in some companies, again, same repo, every developer, DevOps, everyone will have access or contribution to it. DevOps person will work on configuration files, developers will work on their own files, but this is very rare use case where process is not properly streamlined, like startups maybe.
Yes.
In a startup, there will be a project where they'll put the code, they'll put the infra configurations for which DevOps team manage. DevOps will contribute to the same repo. Developers will contribute to the same, which is not a best practice. Always your infra, the pipeline as a code, all of them should be in a separate repo. And that should be managed by DevOps team. That's the actual and the best practice. Hope you got it clear now, everyone.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Right. S. Ramakrishna, can you please go ahead with your question?
No, I understand. I thought where this pipelines is stored. So DevOps
Oh,
team has a separate repo. So there
yeah.
we were keeping this, and so
Yeah.
we're pulling the changes from the developers.
Yeah.
I understand now.
Yeah.
Thank
Sometimes, yes, the pipeline creation might be Jenkins file might be here itself, but all the Terraform, the infra changes or infra setup or ops configurations would be in a separate repo. It all depends on the project structure, the teams, how they were structured and all. But
Understood.
generally, the best thing is we have a separate repos.
Maybe
Jenkins
going
file
forward, more
might be
clarity will.
Jenkins file might be here itself with the development team, that's fine. But other configurations should be separated. That's where again GitOps principles comes in. We'll talk about it as we progress. GitOps principles where you should separate the ops code, ops configurations. We'll discuss that a little later. So this completes Git and GitHub. We have covered almost everything more than everything which we covered, which we use in our real time. Like whatever basics, from basics I started and I completed till advanced. This is more than enough to clear any interview related to Git and to work on the projects wherever you have a Git task or wherever you have a Git in the use case. This is perfect. Only thing is now, it is you who have to complete your hands-on, listen the recordings, make the concepts clear, complete the quizzes, interview questions. It's all with you now, right? So once you are done with it, yes, you are good with Git. But I know it will take some time. You might be doing practice every day, but it will take some time after the session. Spend more hours. If you want to become more expertise, more hours you have to spend. No other way, no other shortcut, no other solution. People will come to me saying that how do I expertise this? How do I become comfortable with this? And I see people asking, you run the commands easily. What are the trick? How do you remember? Only trick is I do it every day, right? In the class, I am learning every day. I am practicing them. In my project, I use it. That's how I become my expertise. That's the only solution, no other way. That's the reason for me to conduct the classes also. I want to get grip over the subject. I don't want to lose hands-on on it, whether I am using the currently in my project or not. Of course, we use Git, GitHub, all of them we use anyhow.
Understand, Preeti.
Preeti,
What will you say about Git action, ma'am?
Git action. Git action is like a continuous integration tool, like a Jenkins, right? I'm covering
So, ma'am,
Jenkins.
So, ma'am, can I implement Git actions through GitHub without without Jenkins, ma'am?
Yeah, you can implement GitHub Actions without Jenkins. It is similar to Jenkins, means it's a tool under the same category.
Yeah, but but ma'am, now I want to implement GitHub actions without Jenkins, ma'am, because I am working some projects. That's why I am asking to you.
GitHub Actions, I'm not covering, Mukesh. I'm covering Jenkins. And if you know Jenkins, you can understand GitHub Actions very easily and you can use it, explore and use them. Jenkins is very widely used than any other tool, and that's the reason for covering Jenkins.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Preeti,
Yes, please.
this is the last session on GitHub.
Yes.
on-
See, last session on Git and GitHub meaning, we have learnt it. But we will be using throughout the course. Like for when I start my Terraform or when I start my Jenkins, we'll be using Git and GitHub throughout the course, like I said. But learning wise concepts, everything completed. But we'll be doing cloning, pulling, pushing, all of that we'll do. At that time, I will not again teach pull and all, right? That's what I mean. It's completed.
Tomorrow you're going to start with
Linux. We'll start with Linux basics. Why I'm starting with Linux basics and also I will discuss and that's how we'll progress.
Preeti, at the
How
end
many sessions will take for Linux, ma'am?
Huh?
How many
Oh,
sessions will take
okay.
for
Two
Linux?
sessions, two
sessions.
classes. Again, Linux will be throughout the course. Wherever we have a scenario, we'll be using some new Linux command and all. So first we'll learn what is what the basics in these two sessions. And again, we'll be using shell script in the pipeline. I'll tell you how to replace shell script with the tools, why shell script is not used. All of that we'll discuss.
Yeah, okay. Sure, ma'am.
Preeti, at the end we're going to do any project.
We will be doing not at the end. Once we start Jenkins, we'll get started with our project. But to get started, we need to set these basics.
Yes, yes.
I have my project on GitHub. You have to pull and create a pipeline. Whenever there's a commit on GitHub, you have to trigger it. So you should know Jenkins at least to get started with that pipeline and the project. So first I'm setting those foundations and then we'll get started with that.
Yes, please.
Hope the things are clear for everyone, right? Okay, so please use the same link for every day. Whatever Zoom link is there, you can use the same every day, right? And also the links, the credentials, your LMS access should not be used across. It's for single individual access. It's a single access, I would say. It's not a multiple access like you have a Netflix which you cannot use at the same time on multiple devices until you get that license for multiple devices. Same is the case here. At the moment, at the same time, it should be accessed with a one person. So please take care of all of these things. And yeah, I think I am good. Anything else you have? Any questions? Any other anything? Hope you all got access to LMS and you are all moved to that private WhatsApp group. So any questions during your hands-on, please post it in the WhatsApp group, a private group. Okay?
Sure, thank you.
Yeah. All right then. Have a good day. See you all tomorrow.
Good
Bye.
day. Thank you.
You too, ma'am.